Talk a little bit, Ron, about how stress was playing a role for you, because you had some stressful family things going on. So talk a little bit about how hypnosis helped you manage that better.
Well, I guess any and every family has some most stressful moments. I have grandchildren that I watch. With the whole pandemic thing, it's changed the whole dynamic of everything, right? Um, but getting hold of your stress levels with hypnosis, meditation, all those types of things to calm and center yourself and make yourself more productive in a calmer way instead of running around with anxiety. And then what happened was for me, I would eat. Because that calmed me down. It was my calming thing, right? And when you become busy too, you tend to want to eat not healthy because it was just easy to drive up to the drive-through, Tim Hortons, grab a sandwich or some French fries or whatever, right? And it was easy that way. And before you know it, you're big again. And so being less stressed, changing my life in more positive ways, and reaffirming that all the time as I don't do those things anymore. I will get something out of the fridge instead of driving out to get something. The quick fix. Like I said before, I was kind of on this roller coaster, highs, lows, and dealing with my mind, dealing with the stress of all that, I've really leveled out and very calm. And it's funny, most people will say, wow, you're always, I never see you upset. I never see you emotional. And then they go, well, it's not that it doesn't happen. It's that I know now how to deal with it, right? I deal with those things in a calming way, right? So I don't get to have to emotionally eat, right? And that was a huge thing for me. So with the hypnosis and meditation and even just going for walks and physical activity has brought all the stress level down to a manageable level, right? And that level is constant. It's straight across. It's not up and down, up and down. And then so it's easy. It's literally easier to deal with now.
It's kind of like the little voice that's the angel on your shoulder telling you what you need to be doing. It gets louder, and the little devil on your shoulder is quieter, and you can just like put him away in a box behind you, and you can just do the things that lead to what you want, and you can focus on that outcome. And when you're focused on the outcome and you're taking action towards it, all the little things that used to piss you off or used to, frustrate you, or in my case, I often used to like suppress the anger where I thought, I didn't want to feel it at all. But it's like, it can just go away. And I can see the anger come and be like, oh yeah, I feel anger, and kind of just deal with what needs to be done, because the outcome is what matters. It's not those little details that might have gotten in the way in the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're able to stay focused on what really matters.
Yeah, exactly. And when you're focusing on what matters, everything else just falls into line. The emotions, attitudes, values, like when you're really prioritizing the thing that matters in your life and making it the top priority. And like health, who knew? Apparently everyone but me. Who knew? Everyone but me, that health was such a huge factor in everything. Like when you're feeling good and healthy and you can work out and you're getting that done and you're building muscle and feeling strong, like you feel like you can do anything. And there's that energy, and it just pops you up out of bed, and you're like excited for the day. And there's an emotional element that is attached to that. And it's just a way of getting everything in line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So when people get used to being overweight and low energy, we tend to adapt and we just think that's the way life is. And in change it, you don't realize how it could be.
Oh, I was very well adapted, and I was very convinced that this was okay. I had the complacency all over the place. Like, I was like, oh yeah, this is fine. And I called it body positivity, which is a lovely movement, but it shouldn't stop you from pursuing the thing, like pursuing good health and doing so in a loving manner, right? Like, you know, self-love and self-acceptance is all part of it. Like, one of the first things you had me do was kind of a 6-step reframe where you accept and thank the subconscious mind for helping you. And that's once you've accepted the behavior and say, yes, there is a positive intention for this, even if it might be wrong, but that positive intention is there, then you can start exploring creative ways to still keep that positive intention, but do so in a way that is also in line with your goals.
Mm-hmm. So that hadn't even occurred to you before. You just thought this is...
Not really. No, it was definitely a fight. There was like why can't you get your shit together?
So your old way of doing things was you thought if I just kick myself in the butt enough, then I'll get there.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like, I just have to push harder.
Yeah. And then you went...
Yeah, I'm just not working hard enough.
Then you went in the other direction and said, oh, well, I'm just body positive and this is all okay. And neither of them actually helped you.
Yeah, I definitely would swing to extremes in thinking of like what to do, what the right method was. I mean, I went from vegan to keto, and like I did a lot of stuff. I did like the Whole30 diet. I did like, you know, completely cutting things out and then being like, screw it, I'm gaining weight anyways, might as well eat everything. Like, it's just, it was not a useful way of thinking. And I felt so trapped in that. Like, I didn't see a way out before. I thought this was just the way it was. And a lot of people around me were experiencing similar things too. So I just thought this was the way it was, and this is just the way it is. And people who are naturally slender are lucky, and they're the lucky minority, but it doesn't really make sense when you think about it in terms of like, historically, people aren't necessarily naturally obese. Like, it's a rare thing, actually.
Yeah. Great. All right, Ron, is there anything else you want to share that you think would help people, help inspire them to make changes, or any other examples that you think would be useful for them?
Yeah, you know, I was just listening to Jillian, and it was one of the things it kind of come to mind is how we can make excuses not to do the right things. Like, oh, I'll start it Monday, or the good one I hear is, I'm too old to worry about it. No, I've done triathlons and I had people in their 80s right next to me. It's like, well, look at these guys. It wasn't an excuse for them, right? And it's easy to make an excuse not to do what you should do, right? Maybe I just watch TV today instead of going for my walk or run or going to the gym or going to play tennis or something, some kind of activity, right? Or making the right thing. It's just easy to order the pizza. Let's do that. They're just excuses, right? Instead of doing the right thing. But you got to get your head straight to do that. So that was just my one thing that came up. Don't make excuses. Do the right thing.
Yeah. And what both of you are describing is what Fritz Perls called top dog, underdog thinking, right? So there's a party that wants to go to the gym. There's another part that wants to sit on the couch. And when Jill was talking about the angel and the devil, right, that there's that struggle. And whenever that fight is happening, you lose every time, right? The devil wins every time because you're trying to use willpower to do it, and or kicking yourself in the butt to do it. And the subconscious will win every time you try to do that, which is really where the power of hypnosis comes from, because we help you make one decision. It's like an umbrella decision over your life. And you have this clarity, and then agreeing to help yourself look at life and value what helps you get there. And so when we make those changes in the subconscious, it's a lot easier to keep on, because there's no fight. It's just, this is how you're living. And then you're learning how to simply agree with what helps you do that. And it makes it easier for you to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just add one more thing?
Sure.
For me, and from what other people have told me, surrounding yourself in the right environment is a big one. Because if you belong to the chicken wing eaters of America, what are your likelihood of losing weight? Not very good, right? But if you were in the Weight Watchers lifestyle of America and hang around with those people, you're more likely to have some success, right? And of course, the hypnosis was the huge thing for me. Like I said, I knew how to do all those things. My mind wasn't in the right place. It didn't know what it should be doing. And now we've straightened that out, life is better. And I do. I try and pattern myself against people that I know who are fit and eat proper. And I try and piggyback and learn from these people more. And actually putting in a time slot for my workouts, for eating right, like it was going to work. I would schedule that time for those things. If you don't make that goal, you don't make that schedule, it's most likely not going to happen. So that's just things that I've learned.
Yeah, I am totally on board with you, Ron, with that. Like if what you're doing is not working, find someone who's doing it well, right? That modeling is such a huge part. And like, just what are they doing? What are their actions? What are their attitudes and values, and learning from them and being open to that, and realizing you don't have to be the one to come up with all the answers, because nobody's born with all the answers anyways.